Hey folks, it's Brevin here. Hope you're doing well and well, okay. This is not having a go at World of Warships. This is having a go at World Tanks. I love World Tanks just as much as I do with World of Warships. But I do not appreciate about what Wargaming had done to the ANZ as well as the Asia community. And basically specifically saying here that the reason behind it all. First and foremost, I love this plushie. It's so great. But in all seriousness though, in this video, I am speaking on behalf of the people who are annoyed about the decision that has been made by Wargaming for World of Tanks Asia and ANZ. And I'm speaking on behalf of what I've been hearing and seeing. And in all seriousness though, folks, it's not looking good on that frontier. So let's get right into it. Okay. So I had been sitting back for a couple days now, thinking about it over, and well, it's given me an opportunity to sit back, relax, and read this in more depth here. So I'm going to start talking about this with you. They basically announced that they're talking about the changes upcoming for the 11th of September. So, ladies and gentlemen, I regret to inform you all that the ANZ and the once upon a time Hong Kong community, it will become no more and it will be merged into one identity right now. There used to be two servers, but now they will have just one server for all. That means that they are replacing the Hong Kong and ANZ identities as such for World Tanks, merging both communities together into one server, into the cloud. Basically, they're talking about that after the switch has been made, you will be able to connect to the new Asia 1 server automatically with no additional steps required from ourselves. And if you are in the middle of a battle when the switch takes place, you'll be logged out after the battle is complete, and there'll be no impact on time server events. And should you encounter any issues with high latency or lag spikes, report them to our, the player support team. Now, I don't know about this, ladies and gentlemen, but this is not exactly great news for the ANZ and also the Hong Kong community. Both communities are absolutely, let me just say, from what I have seen and heard from both sides of the coin, it is not looking good overall. It really isn't. I have to admit that I was a bit shocked with this sudden announcement. This came out not too long ago. It was a couple of days ago actually. So there's a couple of things that I will mention though. In my previous video, I did mention in the past that I have noticed that the WoT Tanks Asia and, well, WoT Tanks Southeast Asia community and also the ANZ community have pretty much stopped streaming. So I had a look at it and there's nothing really going on except, where the social media is. As you can see here in the ANZ community, you can actually join there, check out a few things. There is the community contributor list for ANZ. I found out not too long ago that one of the community contributors that used to be on this list is pretty much have stepped away and left the game for good for now. PR or most recently, I've been told in the grapevine that he had jumped and left the program, and he was a bit disappointed about Wargame's decision, but at the same time that he was just like, you know, not overly too pleased about the overall, you know, change and idea that was going to happen in a way. Also, another CC that I know very well as well too, Devils Down Under actually stepped away from the CC program as well too, and I have noticed that all the CCs on ANZ community have no longer put themselves with the CC banner, but they still are in the stream team and everything, but they have basically kept things quiet. So I can imagine how they're all feeling right now. I really do. It's a bit of a rough spot for everyone at the moment. I can understand why that people are not very impressed with it, the changes and everything like that. I would be pissed off as well too. Trust me, I would have been. If that ever happened to me in terms of the WoT Warships, that they got rid of the Asia server and were forcing us to merge into EU or Asia, or in a North American server, for example, I would have mixed feelings, to be honest. But to be fair, I would rather prefer that we would have the opportunity to do something that we like in the long term. But yeah, it's just like, I cannot believe what I was seeing and hearing with the sudden changes for Asia ANZ community. I understand that, you know, they have two servers separate for individual communities for Hong Kong and ANZ, but it would have made sense if the ANZ community had the Hong Kong community merged with them, not the other way around. And the reason behind this story, I will just say it very openly, is that the latency for WoT Tanks on Asia / ANZ isn't bad. It's actually very good. What you're seeing right now though is I'm actually playing a North American community, playing WoT Tanks, and the ping rate is actually not too bad. Been around from 200 to 300. I was actually kind of hoping it'll be less than this, but considering that WoT Warships, for example, has a very good ping rate of less than 200, and it goes down as low as around about 110, it's actually very, very good. So all things considered, you can't have everything your way, but from my standpoint, just by looking at all this, I just think that you can have the best of both worlds just by looking at it this way anyhow. But in all seriousness though, that when I had been playing WoT Tanks for so many years, I mean, like, let's just face it, that when I walked away from the North American community the first time round, it was because of the latency issues. My internet provider wasn't, you know, helping me out or anything like that, and I found another game which was WoT Warships, and it was so much better for everything. It was just like better latency, better you know, mechanics and everything like that. So in the end, I just respected what I was going through. But yeah, overall, I'll be honest with you folks, is that, you know, like, at the end of the day, I'm just having fun, you know, playing the game and enjoying it while I still can. It is a bit of a shame though, after, like, I have been reviewing this video a little bit, with knowing who is still around and who isn't around anymore, it's understandable why people are very pissed off with changes that what Wargaming has done for WoT Tanks. And in all fairness, I mean, like, I understand wholeheartedly, because like we've invested a lot of time and money into this, and not many people like to be dicked around, to be honest with you. And in all seriousness though, the best way to piss off the ANZ community is actually doing like that just right now. So wargaming itself on the ANZ Asia community, they did come out with some sort of weird apology. The apology itself was so weird, but at the same time that it just doesn't seem right. The way it was being handled in a way, and I'm not going to go into detail on depth about it. I mean, like, the story is just speaks for itself, ladies and gentlemen. It's just like, I cannot believe, what I've seen, what I've heard. I just believe that, the community, the ANZ community, deserves some love, for crying out loud. We deserve, something a hell lot better than being treated in this way. In all fairness, though, I mean, like, I just think that the way we have been treated is actually quite disgusting, in my opinion. And I'm not very proud of it. I really am not, because, like, as a person who has been playing online gaming, I know that I love playing games online and have the best ping rate on the house. That we all agree on. I mean, like, it doesn't matter where we live, we all want to have that best ping rate from our home and enjoy connecting with friends and family, no matter which server you're connected to. I have to admit, though, just by looking at it with, from the Australian and New Zealand community standpoint, and also the Asian community, it is very hard to have a decent internet connection at home. I get that, and I understand that. The problem with WoT Tanks in Asia that I have seen lately is that how popular the game is. And as I look at in regarding to like World of Warships, for example, and I'm not doing this in comparison, but this is just my opinion, that if World of Warships, for example, is very popular for the North American, EU, and Asia region, and they were looking at opening a second server for each region, to tell you the truth, I mean, like, they can use that as a bit of an excuse, or also a plausible way of, a backup option. If something goes wrong, at least, like when server maintenance is happening, that players will be able to still play the game and you don't have to worry about it. That's the only reason for it. Now, having multi-layer servers is actually very handy, like Star Wars: The Republic does, because like if you have one layer is too busy with so many people on it, you can transfer like your character by teleporting to a different layer of the server, same server that you log on to, and be able to play the content and have fun, etc. But yeah, it's just, when I hear this sort of news and stuff going on, ladies and gentlemen, I just have to say that I was a bit disappointed about everything that's been going on. Now, I will admit though, for the Australian CCs that have actually stepped away for the program, I have to say that even though I'm sad to see and hear that they have walked away from it for WoT Tanks, but then again, these things do happen, and we can only do what we can do is wish them for the best. That is it. But in all seriousness though, I just think that the community in general, for both the Asia and ANZ community, they're not happy. They're fed up with being mucked around and probably lied to, in my opinion. That's probably why they're very upset. So in all seriousness though, I think that in going forward, the community needs to be treated right. That's what I'm saying. So wargaming, regardless of which, I just think that they've done the wrong thing by everyone at this stage, and this is just rather unfortunate the way it's going at this stage. And yeah, it's just one of those things. But well. But I have to say though that I will play a little bit on the Asia server, or ANZ server, what's left of it. I mean, like, I'm gonna miss the ping, that's for sure. So here we are jumping onto the ANZ or Asia server, well, right now, and you know, like in all seriousness though, that the population or that at the moment is about like 11,000, nearly 12,000 players right now. And this is the total number of people on the Australian server. This is like very good to see, you know, overall. It's actually very nice. But just, you know, curious to see how long it'll take to queue up. The funny thing is though, when we're trying to queue up in this game, it does take a while, I have to admit, but it's not bad at all with the decision making at this stage. But we'll soon see how it goes. But the thing is that what I could not get my head around is about the changes, why they're making this sudden change about the servers. I really don't. But is it just because that's that low, the population for both World Tanks in Asia, for ANZ and also the Hong Kong community? I think it's a bit of a tenfold story, because when I think about it, I mean, like, I understand why it would have consolidate all your servers into one. But at the same time though, that the player base for World Tanks, in my opinion, in my view, is that it gets busy in the holiday season. Or whenever it's like a certain special event. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. Just by looking at this whole thing, it's just, from my opinion, it's completely messed up royally. And I don't know whose idea was this at all and within the wargaming department, but man, it is really has nailed us on the head, and a lot of respect has been blown. So I'm just hoping that something good will come out of this. I have to admit, we need it right now. It's just, right now it's just like, as I look around in people's streams and even just talk about the topic World Tanks, it's actually pretty tainted right now. It's actually pretty much tainted to love, in a bad way, in a very bad way. So I can understand why wholeheartedly. But yeah, see, the ping rate I got at the moment is about like 30 to 40, and that's why I love my ping. Because my ping rate is fantastic. But don't get me wrong, I mean, like, for a 100 megabit connection or 200 megabit connection or even gigabit internet connection, you won't be whinging. You'll be laughing with the internet connection you got. It's actually pretty decent. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I just feel sad seeing this going on. I really do. I really do. I mean, like, I still feel it for the community, for the ANZ community, for World Tanks. I mean, like, for the staff layoffs that's been happening, to a lot of changes that's been going internally. It's just like, none of it made sense. It really didn't. I mean, like, I have to admit, I'm still scratching my head to this day, because the whole thing, it never made sense about why would you get rid of something that was working. That's the point. I mean, like, why would you get rid of something that's working. I mean, like, you have 2 servers for Hong Kong and ANZ. You can do like convert them into one, yeah, sure, but have one as the backup method, like for everyone, and it will be great. But then again, there's the option too as well that if, say for example, that people you're connected from Australia, you should be on the Australian server, and you still be able to have the best ping rate no matter what, playing with your friends around the world from the country. And for people over in Hong Kong or Philippines or Vietnam or whoever would have their own connection going well for themselves as well too, and it wouldn't be affected. Yeah, okay, doing things in the cloud is strange. I mean, like, I have to admit that Star Wars: The Old Republic has gone through that road right now to do things in the cloud, and honestly, right now, I just think that the connection speeds for it is a bit meh, like a bit average. But still, I mean, like, there's a lot of opportunities here. So yeah, I'm gonna miss the ping rate. Look, even I had 16 at one point. It was great. And speaking about CCs, we got Ziggy, Napalmer, and who else? Hello is on as well too. That's all cool. That's all cool. I don't think Hello is a CC, but I've actually lost track. But hey, it's good to see him in action. But yeah, man, I mean, like, I'm so mixed about this. I love the ping rate in this place. Bloody hell, now I'm gonna miss it. Bloody hell. Wargaming, World Tanks. Oh well. But the one thing I will admit though, I mean, like, when I play this game, I play it for the fun of it, regardless of which. And we focus on building an awesome community. And the community is always good to have. And I know that a lot of Australians and New Zealanders and other people are, like, are not happy about this, but it's just like one of those things, The hell? Cool. Oh, but yeah, it's just one of those things. Damn it. One thing I will admit though, in conclusion, before I wrap things up on this video, one thing I will say is that when wargaming in World Tank side of things, when they make a decision about if it's numbers related, they have to look at the pros and cons of whether or not that having one central server is actually a better idea. Okay. I'm not thrilled about the whole thing, like, when the server merge is happening. I mean, like, I have had happen to me before with Star Wars: The Old Republic, and you know, like when Star Wars Republic, for example, had a server merge a few times, and the amount of pain I went through with all the character name changes and legacy name changes and everything, it really drilled my head in. It really did. But at the end of the day, it's just like, you know, you only can do so much. But man, I don't know. I mean, like, I still play the game for the fun of it, and one thing I can say, folks, is that there's always will be plenty of games for us to play. So just remember though, even if World Tanks lag latency is not great, I mean, like, there's always going to be obviously different servers, like for example NA and EU. But then again, if the ping rate is horrible for those servers, then probably it's time for you to move on and play something different. There is an option for you folks to go ahead and do a petition and things like that for the community. I think that's actually not a bad idea, actually, because like I do encourage you to well, voice up and have your say, because like we need people like you to make a decision, definitely, for sure. Oh, okay. I wasn't 100% sure what happened there. Looks like I stopped. But honestly, you gotta have to have a voice, folks. And if there's something you don't like, you gotta voice it. Let people know on the Discord, let people know as appropriate as you see fit. You gotta tell them the truth, you know, like say like, look, I don't like this, and they gotta change. That is the truth. You have to tell them, and you know, don't hide. You gotta have to say it as it is, you know, and just let them know that it has to change, you know, for the better. We want for the best, you know, for ourselves, man. But anyways, well, you know what, in all seriousness though, I had a great time playing on the Asia ANZ community, and I will sorely miss it. I really will. And you know, going forward, ladies and gentlemen, I just think that Wargaming's decision to remove a great community like this, it's really rubbed me on the wrong way. It really has. Because when you're starting to see good people starting to leave the start to leave, like the CC program, for example, for WoT Tanks, for ANZ, like for example, I have confirmation that PR 154 has already left, and also Devils Down Under. It's only a matter of time that we'll see all the people that have really put in hard work would leave and move on from it. I mean, like, I just don't want to see it go. There's a lot of great people who have put a lot of time and effort into this. So, yeah, definitely give them some love, support, and always be there for one another. But yeah, there's like a good old Napalmer right there. Great bloke all around. But he was actually doing what was it, the battle last one there, but he's a CC there for WoT Tanks. He still is. There's still a few people that are still, you know, like hanging in there despite of the situation. But what's important, folks, is that we need to stay by our brothers and sisters in arms here and be supportive of one another. I mean, like, if Wargaming wants to take away our enjoyment on things, it's just like any other game company, I'm afraid. But there's one thing that you have to understand, folks, that with games like this, sad to say, I mean, like, we're only renting the game. Unless like, I miss the days of downloading a game, playing it offline, and just having fun. I mean, like, there's games that I used to play offline and just have fun. And a good example of it was, ladies and gentlemen, was, like, for example, for tank games, there was like, Armored Fist 2. Also, what was another one? There was another game that you had like simulated games like, Fire Brigade, Panzer General, things like that. I mean, like, I miss those days. I really do. But hey, don't matter. It's just me having a rant. But in all seriousness though, yeah, I'm gonna miss the ANZ community for World of Tanks. Well, I'm gonna miss the server in a way, but I know the community will still be around. But oh well. Stay safe, take care of everything, folks. Because like as of Monday next week, as of the 11th of September, the World Tanks community for ANZ Server and Hong Kong will be changed forever. Until then, this is Admiral Revan signing off. Have a good one, and happy tanking, folks.